Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Champlin Ice Forum for CTN's live coverage of girls high school hockey. A non-con matchup from way up north come the Lumberjacks of Cloquet, Carleton, the number 3 ranked team in single A, to face off against the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro sidelines, and Howie, this should be a really good test for both of these hockey teams.
Yeah, Cloquet comes in at 11-2, and they play different, obviously, competition, but they have played some of the same teams like Anoka, who they lost to, and who the Bluebirds have beaten twice this year. But yeah, I mean, this first line for this squad, they're really, really good. And as you see as this game unfolds, how much they're going to rely on them. Yeah,
they score almost 70% of the team's goals. They have 36 goals in 13 games. That's 3 goals per game on that first line.
That first line, all 3 of them are 3-sport captains. So 2 of them are going to play hockey at UMD, and the player we'll talk about, she's going to say softball, I should say, and the player we'll talk about going to Bemidji State to play hockey. And that is Tara Nelson. 16 goals, 12 assists on the season, and she's really special. I was talking to Coach Coltis earlier and said, you keep an eye on her. She is really, really good, and she really makes this first line go. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bluebirds can bottle her up tonight.
Yeah, combined with Bender and De Leon, they have more than 5.5 points per game. They have 76 points combined between the 3 of them in 13 games. Definitely it will be a challenge for the Bluebirds defense, but the Bluebirds defense has been well tested against some of the best in the state so far this season, and one of the young ladies who has stepped up her game to help on the blue line is freshman Kylie Scott.
Yeah, Kylie comes in 3 goals and 4 assists, and Coach Coltis says she's been playing so well. I think you believe me, Coach, she had a goal and an assist in the 3rd place game this past weekend. So, she comes in here and playing very well, and obviously they need to. They're against that first line. They're going to need their defense to play strong.
Yeah, and the Bluebirds last weekend in the Composure Classic over in South St. Paul, they did finish in 3rd place. Their only loss was a tight game to a highly ranked team. So feeling very good about the way they've played recently, and as they look forward to the last couple of weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, and again, we talked about this will be a good test for them because they started a series with them. They're going to go up there next season and play them, and so an opportunity for Cloquet to come down here, get an opportunity to come to the cities and play against a team like the Bluebirds is going to offer them a great challenge as well.
Both teams trying to start strong in 2020. The Lumberjacks and the Bluebirds take the ice next on CTN. Back at the Forum, just about ready to get this one underway. The Cloquet Carleton Lumberjacks in town to take on the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds. Both teams going to try and test the keepers tonight for the Bluebirds. It's Elia Johnson between the pipes for the Lumberjacks, Ariana Kaminsky.
There's the head coach, Courtney Olin. She's been, it's her 5th season head coach for Cloquet Carleton, the Lumberjacks. Kaminsky, we talked about Kaminsky. She comes in with a 7-1 record, and you saw the stats there. She's under 2 in goals against.
There's head coach Jim Coltis, the only coach in the co-op history.
Yes.
3rd season of the partnership between Champlin Park and Coon Rapids.
There's Elia Johnson. Elia's played well this season. She has a record of 9-6 at 2.45 goals against. Had 3 shutouts, a .908 save percentage. So she's had a nice year for this Bluebird club.
90% is always
Yep.
good, 90 plus. We'd love to have your goaltender. Cloquet Esco Carlton able to fire it in deep to start things here tonight. Going in after it is Bender. She's squeezed off it by Scott, picked up by Delaney Johnson. High off the glass, back out to center, and Abby Ness has speed into the Lumberjack zone. She's played off toward the corner by Nelson. Swung around. Scott can't catch up to it. Back out at center, Delaney Johnson. That pass doesn't click. And they do eventually wave it icing. All three referees were kind of the two referees and the linesman looking back and forth. Yes, no, and finally the right call is made. Definitely an ice.
Coach Olin said, her strength is their defense, and we'll see as this game unfolds. Even though they've got that great first line, really they do a good job on the defensive end. We'll see if the Cardinals can apply pressure. I'm sorry, the Bluebirds.
I'm sure that will be the last time that happens tonight. Bluebirds collapse on defense as Dana Jones was looking for an opportunity in the slot, able to play it back out to center ice. A turnover and an opportunity and a shot saved by Kaminsky. Getting it alone was Brooklyn Johnson. Johnson just recently getting the call up, and talking to Coach Coltis before the game, he said, you like the way she plays.
Yeah, lots of nice
She's not
things.
very big, but she's feisty, and she creates opportunities just there. Had that opportunity. Best scoring chance of the game so far for either team. Long pass through center, connects to Bezcalo. Bezcalo into the zone. Her shot knocked off her stick immediately by Dostal on the far side. Had that one broken up by Abby Ness back into the corner. Lumberjacks looking to regroup behind their own net. The pass up the wing didn't click. Back out at center, Kylie Scott flips it off the boards. Delaney Johnson can't get it in deep, but the Blue Jackets can't get it out. Tara Beza sends it back in. Ness to Johnson, and Johnson tried to poke it back out front, hit the side of the cage, disrupted there by Bella Harriman, and played around, and now Harriman gets it right back in the corner. Harriman harassed by Delaney Johnson, who comes away with the puck. Tara Beza pokes it free. Abby Ness will backhand it back into the corner. Tara Beza there to sweep it along for Johnson. A little backhand chance, no problem for Kaminsky. Shot from the point by Peterson, misses wide. Picked up off the near board by Ness, who swings it back in deep. Tara Beza tried to send it out front, and that didn't click. A wraparound backhand chance by Ness. Puck still bouncing around. Delaney Johnson takes a whack at it. She'll get it back in the corner. And now look to cycle and scissor along the board, but not there. So Johnson to the backhand, flips it along out of the reach of Ness, back into the corner. Fired back up the boards by Halverson, stopped up. And it's Tara Beza who will draw the penalty. Delaney Johnson recovers as Elia Johnson heads to the net. She fans on the pass, and Johnson still with it in the corner. Sends it back in deep. Ness trying to poke it along, play some keep away, and seemed like an awful lot of. Oh, and now they'll call a hand pass.
Yep.
Is what gets the whistle, but I mean that one clearly stopped up. This is that
turnover
breakaway chance for Brooklyn Johnson, got in, and Kaminsky able to get a pad on it. And the Bluebirds already showing some good offensive zone pressure. We'll get an opportunity on the power play. 3:12 into the period.
Well, this is where Coon Rapids and Champlin Park CPCR will certainly want to try and shine here on the power play.
Marina Dostal is the guilty party headed to the sin bin. Tara Beza trying to send it back in deep. Bezcalo able to dig it free, but still harassed. She tries to poke it behind. And a good play by Emmy Elena to get control and send it 200 feet.
It's going to be an icing.
And an ice on the power play. Definitely not what the Bluebirds wanted, but it will give them an opportunity to get a fresh group on the ice.
Well, they tried to connect on a pass and wasn't successful, quite obviously, and the Bluebird player could not get a stick on it, so they will bring it back and face it off to the right of Elia Johnson.
Delaney Johnson to face off against Kiana Bender. Comes to the corner. Kylie Scott plays it behind Delaney Johnson to collect. She's going to be pressured by Nelson and able to spin away from the pressure and get some motion up ice. Side steps and she gets dumped, and we're going to see Nelson go into the bench. And yeah, CPCR wants the Lumberjacks to touch that one ASAP. Get as much time as possible. 5-on-3. They'll have a minute 11. The call against Nelson, a high stick.
Well, this is where you're going to test your defenses. There, you see it there. But you will test your defense when you're playing short numbers like this, 3-on-5. Lumberjacks just hope to clear the puck each and every time.
Carrying behind is Zadebski, but able to regain control are the Bluebirds. Walking in, Johnson is shot. That's blocked in front and deflects all the way back out to center ice. Johnson will send it in deep. Zadebski first one there. She'll continue its momentum, but able to get there and keep it in the zone is Johnson. Across for Peterson. Back to Johnson, a one-timer. Only got the heel of the stick on it. Collected behind the net by Ness. Skates out front. Wrist shot. Easy stick save. And it's cleared the length of the ice by the Lumberjacks. 25 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3 opportunity. Delaney Johnson out of her own zone. As Kalo will carry in, drop it off for Delaney Johnson. Across, Abby Peterson one-timer, and that missed on the short side. Swung back behind by Elena. Stopped up there by Ness. Coming away with it is Bender, and Bender will skate to center. They have a 2-on-1 shorthanded, thrown in on goal, and Elia Johnson will hold on for the face-off. First penalty is over. So still a 5-on-4 for another 44 seconds.
Yeah, good opportunity there for the Lumberjacks as Bender's going to skate around the defense, or up to the defense and get a shot on net. Obviously an easy save for Elia Johnson.
She had Pogorelis with her, but decided to take the half-screen shot. Easy save for Elia Johnson. Lumberjacks able to clear it again all the way back into her own end, and Sarah McClellan to collect. She's pressured immediately in the corner. Tied up, and first one there is Bender. Bender pressured, tied up by Delaney Johnson, who comes away with the puck. Johnson flips it around off the official and then gets a shot on goal. It's turned away by Kaminsky.
Done a nice job by the Lumberjacks, just fighting off those power plays, the 3-on-5 advantage.
Terabeza had it poked off her stick, but right to McClellan against the red line, tried to play it in off the skates of the linesman at the blue line, and Cloquet Carlton to regroup. Play it into the zone, and icing waved off as Peterson was close enough. Plays it up the board for Terabeza. And played out to center and sent right back in by Zadebski. Kennedy Bolander a little too much on that, just trying to get it off the glass out to center. And that one went all the way down the ice in a big hurry.
So far, not a lot of chances. 5 shots on goal for the Bluebirds. Just 1 so far for the Lumberjacks here with 10:21 remaining in the opening period. No score.
Keely Grasshorn line up in the faceoff dot for the Lumberjacks against the Bluebirds' Holly Johnson. Faceoff to the left of Elia Johnson. And they're going to send Holly Johnson out, so stepping in will be Grace Hanula instead. Hanula able to win the draw over to Abby Peterson. She'll skate behind her own net, go off the dasher, and that's going to be another icing.
Yeah, not what she had planned when she let that puck go.
Well, and it's definitely a strategy that we saw pay off for them the last game we televised with the go high off the glass, get it out into center ice, and try and win races to pucks and get speed toward the other end. But You need a little more touch on it to get it, make sure it doesn't go all the way down the ice. This will not be an icing, although it's played all the way down by Swanstrom because there was contact. There's icing waved off. Hedlund gets in, plays it back around to the far side. Del Castillo back down low for Hanula. Hanula pressured by a couple of Lumberjacks. Still battling, trying to play to center. Nobody home in a yellow or in a white jersey. Picked up by Schneeberger, but she can't get it out past center, and another penalty coming up against the Lumberjacks. This one for a stick foul as the sticks got up high. And the whistle will blow, and another opportunity on the power play for Champlin Park Coon Rapids. They really haven't been able to put anything together on the power play. They do have a couple 3 shots, but they had a 5-on-2, and there you see the hook, the stick getting up in the hands.
And I'm sure this dot please Coach Olin is, she wants her club to stay out of the box as much as possible. Now 3rd penalty here in the first period. Still plenty of time remaining in this period as well. On the other side, the Bluebirds, as you mentioned, not a lot of opportunities on those chances
that they have. They'd like to get some setups. Yep. They had a couple of one-timer opportunities. They had one go off the heel of a stick, another that just went wide. But, to the Lumberjacks' credit, they do a nice job of getting to the puck and making sure it goes 200 feet. Big collision in the corner. Everybody goes down, but no arms go up on our officials, so we'll play on. Tied up behind the net, Nelson and Johnson. And they're both going to go. Nelson and Johnson for a hook and a hold. I thought it was 2 players battling for position, and the officials say both will go off and cool off.
So they'll play 4-on-4, but
I'm
sorry, 5-on-4. So 5-on-4 for a minute 30.
Yeah, those are just coincidentals. It doesn't affect anything.
Nope.
Abby Ness into the zone, able to get away from a poke check, walk in. That shot didn't make it through to the keeper. Turning with it and taking the shot as Del Castillo missed into the far corner. McClellan first one there. Shot in, saved by Kaminsky. She'll hold on for a face-up.
Okay, getting a little bit of pressure inside on this power play chance for the Bluebirds.
Face-off win. Terabeza is shot. Rebound still sitting there. Swept away by Bolander. Pressure comes in from Ness. Puck still sitting there. And finally cleared out to center and all the way down by Jaxie Pogarellis. Turn out of the corner by McClellan. Pass out to center ice. Broken up by Zadebski, and she'll play it back in deep. McClellan from behind her own net. Tripped up, no call on that one. McClellan will dump it in and get a line change. Bluebirds come to pressure. Bolander back to Terabeza out of the corner, trying to center, deflected behind. Del Castillo tried to center, came right back to her. Here's Ness on the midboard, played out to Peterson at the point. Back down into the corner. Del Castillo behind the net. Terabeza in the far corner. Down low, bounced away from Del Castillo. A jam chance for Bolander. Puck still loose out front. Whacking it away at it are the Bluebirds. Trying to clear are the Lumberjacks. Centering pass went through the feet of Terabeza. And Peterson keeps it in at the blue line as the penalty expires.
Boy, the Bluebirds had some chances there, Joe.
I don't know how many chances they gave a lot of shots on the scoreboard for that.
They had 6.
I don't know. Yeah, they had. I don't know that they had 6 shots.
I'm not sure either.
But according to the scoreboard, they are now up 12-1 in shots on goal. And they have 10 shots on their 3 power plays, but have still come up empty. We're scoreless with just under 7 to play in the opening period. So far, territorially and possession advantage heavily favoring the home team. But the visitors have been shorthanded an awful lot early in this period. There's like one shot. There might be a second one there. I'll go with 3 out of this whole scrum, but 6 would be a little much.
It definitely
but as a
would
goalie
be.
parent, hey, give the goalie credit. More often than not, they're shorted their saves. So, Merry Christmas, late Merry Christmas to Araya Kaminsky.
Well, you know, and the Lumberjacks have to feel pretty good. They could be trailing in this situation. You know, they've had a couple of nice saves, but the Bluebirds certainly have put the puck on net.
Well, and again, we talked about how, you know, important their first line is to offense. Well, when you start to break those players up because they're out there killing penalties, you know, they haven't really been on the ice much through the first 10, 11 minutes of this first period.
Well, and they're short 3 skaters tonight with illness, so they're going to have to obviously keep an eye on minutes for some of these players as well.
It's a good chance for Delaney Johnson in behind the defense. She scores! Jammed it home between the wickets on Kaminsky as she was being pulled down. And the pressure finally pays off for the Bluebirds.
That is goal number 10 for Delaney Johnson. You're right, the pressure has paid off for the Bluebirds here in this situation. And again, just a nice job. It's a really nice pass to Delaney. And she's able to go and get it past the goaltender.
Just stays out of the reach of Emmy Elena. And able to jam it underneath the pads. Abby Ness getting the assist. And a 1-0 lead for the Bluebirds.
Well, and again, they've been working hard in this period, and it has paid off here with the goal late in the first.
Elena will skate to center and now dump it in. As Lumberjacks look to answer, kind of a funny bounce there, and Dea De Leon tried to jump on it, but Bluebirds able to get it back. Peterson played off of it, got it over to Brooklyn Johnson, who sends it in deep. Stopping up behind the net is Harriman, and reversing to Taylor Nelson. Nelson, hard cross ice, back into the Coon Rapids end. Elena Hedlund off the backboard for Sarah McClellan. McClellan will skate to center. Pass across is cut off. She'll just take it in, dump it in behind. First one there is Bezcalo, plays it to herself. Goes to the corner, finds some time, back out to McClellan, back down to Bezcalo. Bezcalo looking to get it into the center, and the pass cut off by Cloquet, who gets it out to center. CPCR able to get it back into the Lumberjack zone. Johnson trying to play it across, nobody there. Taken away by Dana Jones, who skates it up ice into the Bluebirds end, trying to center, but that was played away by McClellan. Near corner is Cloquet, back out to the point, now gets it back, centering straight through the top of the crease. And on the far side is Jones, circling, back out to the point for Grasshorn. Tried to go to the back door, and that got through traffic all the way to the corner, recovered now by Cloquet, who now plays it back in behind, where Pogarellas moves it along, swept back out to the point again. Grasshorn across and tipped into the corner by Zadebski. Back out, Zadebski at the point. Fires into the far corner. Dana Jones, her pass taken away by Swanstrom. Swanstrom skates to center. Bumped off it, but able to get it into the zone, and CPCR gets a full line change. Misplayed, stepping up is Peterson. She lost it, it was in her skates. And Zadebski fortunate to not give up a good opportunity and able to get it back and play it in deep. Delaney Johnson.
Yeah, it could have been a really big mistake for the Lumberjacks there if she were able to realize where that puck was.
Johnson plays it out to center. Grasshorn able to get it and turn it back into the Bluebirds end. Sent back out by Abby Ness. Turning it her own blue line is Halverson. She'll play it off the near side boards. Broken up there by Hanula. Halverson back across for Stewart. Stewart circles away from the pressure by Delaney Johnson. Johnson lifts her stick, kicks it to herself, is tripped up, and here comes another Lumberjacks penalty, the fifth of this first period.
Yeah, I mean, way too many penalties here for the Lumberjacks, and You know, again, they're fortunate in this situation. You mentioned number 5. Only 1 goal scored against them here in this first period, but with the amount of opportunities that the Bluebirds had, this score could be even greater.
And this is just an effort penalty by Delaney Johnson. Went in there, pressured, lifted the stick,
Yep.
got the puck, kicked it back to herself, and the defender forced to take her skates out. Peterson back into her own zone, is under pressure as Taylor Nelson came hard after it, shorthanded. Kylie Scott through center into the Lumberjack zone, finds some room, and her shot knocked wide just at the last second by Frankie Halverson.
She made a couple of really nice moves.
Oh, a pass out. Here's Nelson walking in alone, shorthanded. She scores.
Yeah, and that's again, really, the Bluebirds have really outplayed them here in that first period, but again, just the 1 goal out, and Taylor Nelson, he showed why she's such a good player, as she's able to beat Elia Johnson to tie the score at 1.
Well, this is shorthanded. That's just
Yeah.
a breakdown. They had 2 players coming over to pinch Bender, and the pass still gets through. You see the back checker still 3 strides behind Taylor Nelson. You can't give that player that opportunity, or more often than not, that will be the result. Still almost 90 seconds to go on this power play for the Bluebirds. Tara Beza steps up the right wing, dumps it in deep. First one there is licked deep. She has it taken away, though, by Bolander. Bolander pushes it back in deep for Del Castillo, now swept to Tara Beza. Tara Beza out to McClellan at the point, back to Tara Beza at the hash mark. She lost an edge and just dumps it in behind. Abby Ness will come down and collect, back down low for Del Castillo. Tried to get it back to her, knocked away by Bender, and Bender will force it out to center and keep pushing the Bluebirds all the way back into their own end. 45 seconds remaining on this advantage, and not a shot on goal for the team with that advantage, while they've given up that shorthanded goal.
Yeah, it's been a really nice penalty kill so far for the Lumberjacks, obviously coming away with a goal.
Yeah, and while Coach Olin's certainly not happy with 5 penalties given up in the first period, for the Bluebirds to be 0 for 4 on their power play is also cause for concern for Coach Jim Coltis and his staff. Because when you play a solid club and they give you this many opportunities with a player advantage, you got to take the opportunity.
There's a
what
goal.
A shot by Delaney Johnson. Got to a low angle and shelves it over the shoulder of Kaminsky to put CPCR back on top.
Well, Joe, how big was that goal? Because it looked like that, you know, even though that the Lumberjacks just 2 shots on goal in that period, they gained a little momentum after that goal by Nelson, but Delaney Johnson with just a pretty goal to give the Bluebirds the 2-1 lead.
And Johnson, her second of the night. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of room there. Kaminsky played it well. But Delaney Johnson goes bar down for her second of the night, and the Bluebirds have a 2-1 lead with 45 seconds remaining in the first. Forced all the way down. Elia Johnson leaves it for Abby Peterson, leaves it behind for Kylie Scott, who sweeps it around. And Grace Hanula pinched to the board there by Taylor Nelson. Good battle going as Hanula tries to get it past the blue line, and eventually does with the help of Brooke Del Castillo. Back in her own zone to turn away with it is Stanley Stewart. Back up to Bender, who carries it in right alongside Nelson. We'll leave it for Nelson in the corner, down to the last 15 as she's tied up by Abby Peterson. Bender tried to sidestep Del Castillo, but Del Castillo able to get the puck and get it out of the zone. Down to the final 5. That one bounces away from Bender, and that'll do it for the first period. So a lot of power plays for the home team, but they come up empty. In fact, they give up a shorthanded goal on a breakdown and coverage. We will take a short break, and we will be back and get first period intermission reaction right after this on CTN.
Watching your favorite Cardinal sports live is getting even easier. Whether it's CTN Cable Channel 859, the CTN Facebook and YouTube pages, or now live on our Twitter page. You choose how you want to watch Cardinal Nation. With CTN, you'll be able to catch all the big plays, all the emotion, and all the fun of Coon Rapids sports. CTN Coon Rapids, stay connected.
Ice Forum, you're watching CTN's live broadcast of girls high school hockey. We are after one period. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Bluebirds. I'm here with Bluebird head coach Jim Coltis, and you really outplayed them, I thought, in that first period. That late goal kind of changed the momentum, but how big was that goal, that second goal by Delaney, to get you the lead?
Oh, it was huge because, we were talking on the bench, and a lot different going in 2-1 in between periods instead of 1-1, with them having all the momentum. Great goal by number 5, and, we talked about her as a kid we got to watch, and that's the reason right there.
Talk a little bit about what you want to see changed from that first period going to the second period. I know there's some things you didn't like about it, even though you're ahead 2-1.
Well, biggest thing is just our power play was sloppy, and I know part of it is just time off and stuff like that, but we were rushing shots that we normally wouldn't rush. So we'll get in there and we'll talk to them about settling that down. And then also second, a lot in the neutral zone. We were rushing too many kids towards the defensemen instead of kind of playing our 1-2-2 trap in there, and hopefully we can get those both cleaned up.
All right, Coach, thanks. Good luck in the second period. We're going to take a quick break and be back with stats and highlights right after this.
This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come.
Hi, I'm Ryan Nagasu, 2010 Olympian and bronze medal winner of the 2014 U.S. Championships. I knew I loved skating at the age of 5, and now it's become my life passion. Find your skating passion at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Classes are available all year round. It could be the place where your skating dreams come true. See you on ice.
Back at the Ice Forum in Champlin, the Champlin Park Coon Rapids Bluebirds, a 2-1 lead over the Cloquet Esco Carleton Lumberjacks. And you heard Coach Coltis talk about it. While they do have the lead, a lot of missed opportunities when you have 0 for 4 on the power play in your first period.
I mean, that's the first thing he said even before we went on air, is that we missed a lot out there. But he said he was happy with the fact that they're up 2-1, and they gained a little bit of that momentum back.
A big momentum turner in the final minute, and they look to their one of their top players to do it. And yeah, just a little bit too much stick work on the part of the Lumberjacks early on. They took a lot of penalties. They were 5-on-3 for 71 seconds, and during that time, put a little pressure on, but not clearly not the type of clean looks they were hoping for on the power play, especially during the 5-on-3. Kaminsky able to keep it all in front of her, and then after the last power play expired, they spring Delaney Johnson on a little mini breakaway. Yep. She jams it home in the 5-hole. But then on their next power play, a little sloppy on the defensive end, they let Taylor Nelson walk in alone, and she shelves it. Well, one sniper to another, Delaney Johnson gets the Cardinals the lead right back in the final minute, weaving through some traffic, and then top shelf, short angle, bar down. All it takes is a little bit of room.
It's all you need.
You can hide that pisket away.
All you need. There you see the stats: 14 shots on goal for the Bluebirds, just 2 we talked about. One of those a big shot, obviously their goal, and 0 for 4 in the power play, and with 10 power play shots too. So missed opportunities, definitely. But Coach Coltis, as we were walking out, said, "I told you Taylor Nelson was a pretty good player," and he's definitely right. That was a pretty goal.
And Bender
as well.
Nice play.
Yep.
Pass to her. That line definitely going to be dangerous the rest of the way. And I think the Bluebirds' shot and power play shot totals a little inflated,
right,
thanks to those little mini skirmishes in front of the net. But they'll take it. And more importantly, they have the lead on the scoreboard. It's Champlin Park, Coon Rapids 2, Cloquet, Esco, Carleton 1. You're watching CTN's live coverage of girls high school hockey.
Watching your favorite Cardinal sports live is getting even easier. Whether it's CTN Cable Channel 859, the CTN Facebook and YouTube pages, or now live on our Twitter page. You choose how you want to watch Cardinal Nation. With CTN, you'll be able to catch all the big plays, all the emotion, and all the fun of Coon Rapids sports. CTN Coon Rapids, stay connected.
Back at the Champlin Ice Forum, Bluebirds up 2-1 over the Lumberjacks as we get set to start the second period. And were it not for the outstanding individual effort of Delaney Johnson on that goal in the last minute, I think this is a different feel to the start of this second period. Instead, the home team has a little bit of momentum.
Right.
And the Lumberjacks still have to be feeling like, give us a chance to find some rhythm, full strength.
Well, they haven't. They haven't.
Not had a good opportunity to really get this outstanding first line going. Their only goal coming shorthanded. Turnover at center ice. Delaney Johnson trying to get in around the corner. Stopped up there, has to turn back, get it to Kylie Scott, back to Johnson. Johnson trying to sweep it into the corner. That's stopped up by Elena, but Delaney Johnson steals it right back. Lost the handle. Terabeza tried to give it back to her, but it's knocked away by De Leon, who gets it out to center for Bender. Across, the pass behind Taylor Nelson has to come back for it, and now just plays it in deep to the Champlin Park Coon Rapids end. First one there is De Leon. She forces it back behind the net. Delaney Johnson recovers it there. Hard off the boards. Abby Ness out at center. Ness into the zone. Nothing on that shot, and it's stopped up easily by Zadebski. Zadebski tried to cut across and lost the handle and nearly gave it up in a dangerous spot. That pass skips off the stick of Bogarellas, and the Lumberjacks forced to try and regroup again. Broken up by Del Castillo, who sweeps it into the corner. Brooklyn Johnson, great angle to get in front of the player, get to the puck first, play it back behind. Bezcalo, surrounded by purple jerseys, plays it back behind again. Zadebski around but not out, kept in by Abby Peterson. Del Castillo will play it back in deep, and Bezcalo behind the net, out to the point. Hedlund will play it back to her, out of her reach. Johnson had it slip under her stick, but able to get back to it and recover. And now Bezcalo back down low. Johnson spins away, out to the point for Hedlund. Back down to Johnson, got away from her, back behind. And Bezcalo into the far corner now. Sweeps it back for Del Castillo. Del Castillo pressured, bumped off the puck. Coming away with it is Coquet. And Coquet out to center and dumps it in. Hedlund, long pass. Brooklyn Johnson had it skip off her stick. Picked up by Delaney Johnson, though. Fresh onto the ice. She fires wide. Out of the boxes, Ness to stop it up. Kept in at the line by Abby Peterson. Turning with it now is Halverson. She's pickpocketed by Johnson out to the point. Peterson's shot is blocked, but able to fortunately prevent Bender from breaking out. Pass by Nelson doesn't click. Delaney Johnson forces it out to center, and Abby Ness tracks it down at the other end. Easy shot, wraparound chance for Terabeza, and the stop made by Kaminsky.
That was a huge, huge chance for Terabeza. Just couldn't get it past the goaltender, but great opportunity.
High off the glass, out to center. Lumberjacks turned right around by Sarah McClellan. Halverson Passes it ahead, broken up, but now swept along to Bender. Bender gets it across the line into the zone, trailed by Nelson. A little too much on the drop pass, and it's Delaney Johnson going the other way for Champlin Park Coon Rapids at the end of her shift, but still able to lead the action down in deep. Swanstrom digging at it as well, pokes it into the far corner. It's picked up there by Elena, and Elena moves it along, played out to center by the Lumberjacks. Scott trying to stay out of the reach of Grasshorn and gets it ahead for Hanula. Hanula shot through the crease and into the near corner. McClellan keeps it in, not able to keep it in at the blue line as an ops over her stick. She plays it back to the blue line, but charging is Stewart into the zone for Cloquet Esco Carlton. Pressured there by McClellan, able to slip away from a squeeze off the back of the net, out front, puck loose, and then just misses wide, and a great opportunity there for the Lumberjacks as Elia Johnson lost track of it as it came out in front of her net.
Yeah, they were fortunate too. There were a couple of Blue Jackets right there, but just couldn't get enough of a puck to get a clean shot.
Pogarellis shoots it in and an easy glove save for Elia Johnson. She'll hold for another face-up.
So far, just one shot apiece. As we're going to see a great opportunity for the Lumberjacks here. That puck comes out in front of the puck.
It took her a while. You
and
saw
she
how
fanned
late
on
it was that Johnson's head turned when she realized it had gotten out in front. But credit the Bluebirds defenders for tying up sticks rather than trying to play the puck there, not allowing any Lumberjacks to get any lumber on the puck. Played back in behind the Cloquet Esco Carlton net. Puck comes free for Dana Jones. She tries to sprint to center, poked away by Peterson. Then Peterson stops up a couple of attempts to force it past her and plays it all the way back in. Tied up there was Zadebski, who was able to play it to the corner. In Cockut out to the line and not able to hold was Bezcalo, and the Bluebirds offside. 11:35 to play, period number 2.
Yeah, neither team really getting much going here early in this second period, although there was a good opportunity for the Lumberjacks, just they couldn't capitalize. Other than that, both teams trying to find a rhythm, as you mentioned, especially the Lumberjacks when they're full strength.
Terabeza sends it in. Delaney Johnson carries in the corner, pressured there by Elena. Puck comes free, and Bender able to play it out to Taylor Nelson, and it poked away by regain control into the zone. Good passing into the skates. Bender a shot, a big save by Johnson. Rebound chance, and it ends up wide. Net came off the moorings. Play moves on, but that net is off. Abby Ness breaks up the play, and then she's bumped off it by Bender, but Delaney Johnson able to play it out to center and all the way down. Nelson deflects into the zone. McClellan plays it right back out. Johnson couldn't control. Here's Nelson again. Nelson had it knocked off her stick by Kylie Scott, and that bounce pass just out of the reach of Delaney Johnson, and it'll be an icing and a face-off back in the Bluebirds' end.
Yeah, Nelson was looking for a second, and Kylie Scott did a nice job of playing the puck. So you're going to see in this situation, there's the shot by Bender.
And there you see the net come off.
Yeah, there's the net coming off.
Net's off. Shot from the point goes wide for Bella Harriman. And on the far side, Grace Hanula able to skate it to center before ever having it taken away by Grasshorn. Bluebirds able to play it in deep. Emma Strauss able to force it back in and around. Hedlund keeps it in at the blue line. Grasshorn plays it out to center, set right back in by Hedlund. And now Cloquet Esco Carlton plays it down, but too early. That's an icing and a face-off coming back in the Lumberjacks' end.
First period's kind of starting off, or second period starting off a little bit like the first period. Not a lot of action.
Well, you talked about it. Coach Olin prides her team's defense.
Yep.
And I think Coach Coltis would say the same. You know, we have enough goal scorers. We can put up some numbers, but They pride themselves on keeping the opposition off the board as much as they do lighting the lamp themselves. Establishing possession in the near corner are the Bluebirds. Out to the point, Elena Hedlund had it blocked away, and here's an opportunity going the other way for Pogorelis. Pogorelis tries to cut to the middle, got it across. The shot missed wide for Dana Jones, but she draws the penalty. And the Blue Jackets are going to be shorthanded for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Bluebird penalty here coming up. And we talked about them missing a couple of their forwards and more importantly, their penalty kill unit players. So this is going to test the depth of the Bluebird special team units.
Well, it gives that opportunity for that high-powered offense to get out there. Shot from the point by Elena is turned away by the pad of Johnson. Nelson trying to send that one back through the slot where De Leon is camped out at the top of the crease. Down to Nelson. Short angle, caught the side of the cage. Played back out to the point for Stewart. Stewart back for Bender out of her reach. De Leon forces it back to the corner. Bender got turned around, pressured by Delaney Johnson. Scott comes over to support, and Johnson comes away with the puck. Fired it off of Stewart and then blows past her on her way into the zone to pressure shorthanded. But with the numbers, the Lumberjacks able to skate back to center. This is Taylor Nelson into the zone. Looking. Her shot off the skate of Scott into the corner. Scott able to force it back behind. Holly Johnson can't get past De Leon along the end boards. A little more than midway through this power play. Back door and the shot blocked by Kylie Scott again. Scott able to battle, get the puck, and play it 200 feet. Great short-handed shift for number 8.
Yeah, good just heads-up play. Just nice
Long
job.
pass, Taylor Nelson. They're trying to take advantage of the line change, but the Bluebirds able to get into position in time. Force her back around behind and out to the point for Zadebski, and then she fires it all the way around. And pressuring is Terabeza. Biscalo can't get it out. Swept over for Nelson. Nelson spins toward the boards. Now back across for Lichty. Lichty down low. A good stick lift there by Kennedy Bolander. And Abby Peterson can't clear the zone, but it does deflect up and out of play. So it will get a face-off in the zone.
And Nelson with the puck, getting it across
Kylie
to Bender.
Scott.
But Kylie Scott
One of her
right
two
there.
blocks on that short-handed effort. And then I love that. Just going in strong on the stick.
Clearing
Little
it.
stick lift. Got the puck and played it all the way down.
And the Bluebirds able to kill that penalty off. Nice job.
Just one shot on the power play for the Lumberjacks. This one takes a weird bounce off the glass out to Hedlund at center ice. She'll play it in deep. Attacking is Del Castillo, poke to the corner. Zadebski swings it along. Peterson can't keep it in. Tried to get it across. Bolander plays it ahead. Knocked down by Strauss into the zone. Knocked off her stick. Kicked around. Finally, Dana Jones able to collect for Cloquet Esco Carlton, but again, sends it the length of the ice just 2 steps early. And the guys in stripes were watching.
They were right there
Guys
on the
and
spot.
gals
Yeah.
in stripes.
Yep. They were keeping an eye on
Sometimes they'll let it slide if you're within a stick length or so of the red line, but you know, two, 3 full strides away, they're not going to let it go. Abby Ness pressuring in the corner. Puck comes loose. Scott will play it back down. Terabeza waits behind the net. Tried to turn out front. Puck is there. Jammed away at. Still loose. Kaminsky can't cover. Swept to the line, and Scott can't keep it in.
Yeah, good chance for the Bluebirds there.
Scott turning. Avoiding some pressure. Will skate into the zone. Kylie Scott tripped up along the end boards. Here comes another Cloquet Esco Carlton penalty.
Yeah, just got that stick in the skates of Kylie Scott. She went down hard, but she's okay. And another penalty, the first of this period for the Blue Jackets, but there you see where it happens as she takes the skates out from underneath her.
A pretty easy call.
Yeah.
And just good body position by Kylie. Good speed to get around the corner and then put your body between your opponent and the puck. The only way they're getting to the puck is if they go through you. Uh-oh, here's an opportunity. Bender and Nelson on a 2-on-1. Shorthanded glove save by Elia Johnson.
Well, that's a win for the Bluebirds there, just that shot into her glove. I mean, she had Nelson all alone on the wing and didn't feed her the puck. And when you have that much firepower coming at you.
Well, I think Scott does a really good job of staying in that
keeping
passing
her wide.
lane. There's no way she's going to get that pass across to Nelson and then coming over to challenge at the last minute, at least give her a little pressure.
Yep.
But
it's a nice play.
Delaney Johnson will skate end to end and now set up on the hash marks. Down into the corner for Bezcalo. Bezcalo sidesteps some pressure back to the hash marks. Up top for Peterson. Back to Bezcalo. Will let it go. And Delaney Johnson behind the net. Johnson is pressured there, and Bezcalo comes to support. Terabeza near side now. Down low for Bezcalo. Bezcalo tried to play it out front, and Kaminsky will just grab hold of it as it's going by and get a face-off. 1:05 to go in the power play.
So far, the Lumberjacks out shooting the Bluebirds 4-3. I'm sorry, 5-3.
Terabeza down low for Del Castillo. Up top, McClellan. Shot, got through and was saved by Kaminsky and now cleared all the way down by the Lumberjacks. McClellan down to the near corner. It's around the stick check attempt there by Pogarellis. But met at the blue line, but De Leon, and has to dump it in deep. Del Castillo knocked off it. Body's fallen, swept toward the net by Ness. Nearly a turnover as Bolander blocked the clear attempt. And now it's sent all the way down by the Lumberjacks. Elia Johnson leaves in the corner for McClellan. That's going to be icing. Same thing. 2 steps before the red line. They're not going to let it slide. And it comes just as the penalty expires. So just 1 shot on the power play for the Bluebirds that time.
Yeah, good penalty kill situation for the Lumberjacks, as they're able to obviously limit that offense of the Bluebirds. And
if you can kill off 5 straight penalties, that's usually a good sign. Things are working for you. Peterson plays it off the dasher out to center. Back and forth battle. Hanula tied up there with Stewart. Forced free. Abby Peterson back across to Scott and back to Peterson now. And Peterson will turn up ice. Tried to flip it ahead, didn't get the angle she wanted to get it to Swanstrom, and it's turned around by the Lumberjacks. Hanula gets a stick in on the pass. Grasshorn plays it into the zone. Scott back ahead for Grace Hanula. Hanula spins away, looks for help. Got it to Bezcalo. Bezcalo pressured, gets it down low. Swanstrom trying to center. Bezcalo tried to jump on that loose puck and just sent it wide, and now sends it back in behind.
Yeah, what a great opportunity, and unfortunately just couldn't play it where she needed it.
Here's an opportunity for Bender behind the defense, and a goal! Again, that top line players taking advantage of bounces that just go their way, and we're tied again at 2.
Yeah, and again, you're talking about a couple of players that are very, very good hockey players, and again, that's going to be her 16th goal of the season. As she's able to get behind the defense, she's going to bury it.
Bolander pressured. Puck ends up in the penalty box. Another center ice face-off with 3:04 on the clock.
Now the Lumberjacks just have to make sure they do not let what happened after they scored their first goal in that first period and let the Bluebirds score and gain that momentum back.
Off the face-off, Bolander's pass off the skates of Ness, able to recollect and get it ahead to Delaney Johnson. Johnson into the zone, and a shot saved by Kaminsky, and she'll hold on for a face-off to her right.
Well, again, the Bluebirds is trying to get some pressure in with under 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Knotted up at 2.
Played to the point, kept in there by Scott. She'll play it off the boards for Delaney Johnson. Johnson going through some traffic, lost the puck. And the Lumberjacks able to get it out to center. Jones fires it in and padded to the corner by Johnson. Tie up there between Zadebski and Terabeza. Two of the more fun names you'll find on any roster. Johnson sends it around. Tied up along the boards. Delaney Johnson forces it free, but now sent in deep by the Lumberjacks. Kylie Scott high off the glass, out to center, turned around and sent back in by Zadebski. Elena Hedlund to center ice. Will flip it in. Stopped up there by Tanya Stewart, or Tenley Stewart. She'll play it out to center. Hedlund across. Scott off the boards and sent in deep by Bezcalo. Behind the net again is Stewart. Stewart will skate with it. Looks for the pass and finds Grasshorn into the zone. Grasshorn shot deflected wide by Scott. Collected in the near corner by Hedlund. Hedlund hard off the boards, back out to center. Stopped up by Stewart. Played across, and now Halverson moves it ahead. Into the zone comes Dostal. Dostal's shot taken away by Scott. Scott able to sidestep a couple of sticks and get all the way to the other end in tight, and then lost the handle trying to make that last turn. Plays it back out towards center, but no Bluebirds could get a stick on it.
Yeah, great effort by Scott as she's able to take that puck to the goal, but as you mentioned, just couldn't control.
Swept further by Halverson as we're into the final minute of this second period. McClellan keeps it in, steps up, wrist shot, rebound. Played wide by Brooklyn Johnson. Puck comes out front again. A shot by Hanula is saved, and Kaminsky will hold on. Bluebirds trying to bring that final minute pressure. Would love to get a late one and get back to the locker room still in the lead.
Yeah, that would be big.
Zadebski plays it behind. Elena sweeps it along for Taylor Nelson. Ahead and into the zone comes Bender. She was bumped off it, played well by Abby Peterson. De Leon plays it into the corner, locked up together, Nelson and Delaney Johnson. Johnson able to poke it free to the corner. First one there is Bender. Plays it out to the point for Elena. Elena plays it back in. Centering attempt by De Leon. Gets all the way back out to center ice, and that'll just about do it for the second period. Only one goal scored, and it comes on a mini breakaway for the Cloquet Esco Carlton Lumberjacks late in the period. Kiana Bender buries it and evens the score. It's 2-2 as we head to the third on CTN. 2-2 after 2 periods. Cloquet Carleton, the lone goal of the second period. A little more balanced second period than what we saw in the first. The Lumberjacks certainly not penalized as much in frame number 2. Got a power play of their own, but neither team able to get much rhythm. Only 6 shots on goal each.
Yeah, and I think the Lumberjacks took a little bit of the momentum back with that goal and limiting what the Bluebirds did in that second period. This is going to be a fun third period coming out, because this is certainly, even though they're being outshot 20-8, the Lumberjacks, this is anybody's game.
Absolutely, and you finally saw a few shifts there where they started to get that first line really working well together, and just a deflection gets behind the defense, and Bender jumps on it. Good speed to win the race, get behind the defender, get in alone, and then just a good strong shot to beat the glove of Elia Johnson. Both of the Lumberjacks goals have come essentially on breakaways and by their 2 top players.
Yeah, and there you see the shots on goal, as you mentioned, just 6 apiece in that second period. You know, and I think that you look at this game, and it's a game of momentum swings, and I think coming out in this third period, Joe, as you well know more than anyone, really, if you get that first goal in the third period, you can kind of swing that momentum back to your side. So we'll see which club coming out here in the third period grabs that momentum early if they can, and puts a little pressure on the other.
I think you're absolutely correct, and we'll see both teams pressing hard off the start to try and get that ever-important go-ahead goal. We'll take a break, be back with the third period puck drop after this. It's Cloquet Carleton against Champlin Park Coon Rapids, live on CTN.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Back at the Champlin Ice Forum, Champlin Park Coon Rapids 2, Cloquet Carleton 2. All comes down to the final 17. Or will that be enough? It was in this very building, Shapiro, where the CTN crew had the longest marathon hockey game in our history.
7 overtimes.
7. Count them, Jeff. 7. Cloquet Carleton on the attack right away. Redirect just misses wide for Taylor Nelson. Nelson plays it back out to the point. Elena sends it back in. De Leon back up to the point. Pass across and back for Elena. Fans on it, but got it back to Taylor Nelson. Sweeps it back into the corner. De Leon hit the official. Kylie Scott recovers. Poked off her stick by Nelson. De Leon gets there first. Back for Nelson. Taken away by Delaney Johnson. Plays it off the boards behind Abby Nelson. Turned around. Out front for Nelson, and she's bumped off at it. She plays it into the corner. Abby Ness skates to center. Past the line change. Poked off her stick as she enters the zone by Stewart. And now back the other way comes Dana Jones. She has it knocked off her stick by Del Castillo. Forced in deep by Coquet. Brooklyn Johnson deflects it out. And a race for the puck. Brooke Del Castillo can't get there in time, and it's going to become an icing, but good effort. Nearly got around the corner on Zadebski.
Yeah, she was using her speed trying to get around, but unfortunately she couldn't, and we'll have the face-off to the left of Elia Johnson, Bluebird goaltender.
Off the face-off, played to the point, sent in deep by Litke. Back behind, Abby Peterson. Off the boards, over the stick of Bezcalos. Zadebski plays it across, fired back in by Stewart. Johnson stops it up behind the net. Peterson had it bounce away from her, able to track it back down. Sweeps it back behind. Bolander ahead for Brooklyn Johnson, and Johnson with speed into the zone. Puck bouncing around. Johnson lost it in her skates. Delaney Johnson into support. Puck poked back to her, trying to center, and that was deflected away by Jones. Out to the point, Bolander will send it back in deep. Centering attempt as Kalo couldn't get a good stick on it. And Jones will recover off the near boards, gets to the red line, dumps it in. Off the board, out of the reach of everybody. Ness can't sweep it out of the zone. Tied up along the boards. Ness able to finally play it out to center. First one there will be Halverson, and Halverson will take it behind her own net. Play it all the way around for Schneeberger. She lost it as she was pressured by Ness, and Ness forces the action back into the corner. Dostal sweeps it around. Delaney Johnson. Play it back off the boards. Tara Beza spins from pressure and plays it back in below. Ness gets away from a couple, trying to get it to Tara Beza. That was broken up and cleared the length of the ice. And that will be icing.
So we've got just 13:54 left in this period. We're tied at 2, and again, both teams looking to try and get some continuity here in this third period.
Well, both teams
you don't want to make
pretty
mistakes
well defensively.
Yeah. And you don't want to make mistakes, obviously, in this situation.
No shots through the first couple of minutes of this period. Here comes Bender. She may change that. Bender out front. That one's deflected wide by Nelson. Scott able to break it up. Can't get it out to center. Picked up by Emma Strauss. Strauss forces it into the zone. Nelson recovers, plays it across for Stewart. Stewart's pass broken up by Hanula. Stewart recovers. And now to center for De Leon. Near side, out of the reach of Bender, and that should be and is an icing.
And obviously early on, Joe, but neither team getting their offense really in the groove that they want it to be. And
that was a good opportunity there for that top Lumberjacks line out against the Bluebirds' third and fourth lines. Del Castillo behind, tried to center. That was deflected and ends up all the way back in the Bluebird zone. Hedlund will take it behind. Off the boards, out to center for Bezcalo. Tips it along. Icing waved off as it's all the way back in the Blue Jackets end, or Lumberjacks. Got him crossed up. What are you going to do? Pogarellis plays it in right on Johnson. She'll cover it up, get a whistle, get some fresh legs on the ice.
Yeah, we saw in that first period a lot of penalties by the Lumberjacks, and just one in that second period. We'll see, and that could be the tale of this game the rest of the way if they can stay out of the box and play mistake-free hockey.
Played to the line. Peterson is shot. Terabeza tried to tip, but came directly in on Kaminsky, and she made the save. Lumberjacks able to break it out. Hansel will dump it in deep. They'll get a line change as it's recovered by Peterson to Terabeza. Pass for Johnson was broken up. This one cleared out of play. And we'll have a face-off just outside the Lumberjacks blue line. Oh, they'll play it at center. Yep. Face-off out of the reach of Stewart. She retreats to her own corner. Long pass. De Leon tips it there for Bender. Bender into the zone with speed. Forced wide. Bumped by Kylie Scott. Bezcalo comes and able to get it to the line, but not out. Bender pressured. Oh. And that's a deflection in front by Bender. Off the pass. It looked to me like that
Like
was,
off a skate?
Well, it can go off a skate, but to me it looked like there was a kicking motion, but it was a good feed.
It was a nice
from
feed.
Nelson.
That's the thing. It was the feed.
Oh, maybe she
No,
did get her
she
stick
did get
on
her
it.
stick because she lifted her skate off the ground and the puck didn't touch it.
The skate is
Off the
right
ice, I mean.
there, though, and I thought,
No,
that's
that went off the
definitely
stick.
the stick.
That was a nice
That's
redirect.
A beautiful
Yeah.
redirect, actually. And that gives the Lumberjacks their first lead of the contest.
And it gives them the momentum, too. We got still plenty of time left in this third period, but
Ness trying to walk out front, knocked off her stick, and then swung around behind by Stewart. Bluebirds can't keep it in. Dumped back in by McClellan. Stewart. Cross ice right on the stick of Jones. Her shot misses wide and comes right back out to center and all the way back down into the Lumberjacks end. Long pass again for Jones. Jones dumps it in, bouncing puck away from Bolander. And now swept back in behind by Lily Hansen. Peterson didn't get enough on it. It's going to stay in the zone as it's stopped up by Martin. Skating to center is Delaney Johnson. Can't get it into the zone. Peterson will play it in deep. And a little eager to get in with Swanstrom. Had to come back out and tag up again. Long pass. And that just, they say it was tipped by Lily Hansen. So no icing. Bolander long pass, and Ula deflects it into the zone. Good stick by Bolander to break it up. They're going to call Bolander for the hold. She did kind of grab on.
Yeah.
I thought she was hooked down first.
well, she kind of looked at the official and kind of shook her head a little bit, but
happened behind that, but
that's a great situation here for the Lumberjacks, now up a goal and on the power play. And you've got your big guns out there.
Bluebirds able to win the faceoff. McClellan will get it out to center. Dump back in, but now McClellan an opportunity to get it at least further up ice. Turned around by Nelson. Nelson will skate into the zone, into the corner, trying to center. Deflected by Scott. Settled. The shot from the point is blocked by Scott and then chopped into the corner by the Lumberjacks. Bender leaves it off there for Stewart. Stewart backdoor off the post.
Yeah.
Johnson got a piece of it first. Off her shoulder, off the post, and stays out. They get Nelson again at that faceoff. That out front, Bender misses wide. De Leon taken into the boards hard by Scott. And now the Lumberjacks are going to have a 5-on-3 opportunity for more than a minute.
Yeah, and this is a very dangerous situation now here for the Bluebirds with the skating too short against a pretty good scoring team in the Lumberjacks.
Not a good position to be in for the home team. And another pretty easy call.
Yeah.
Boys hockey, great play. And there's the timeout.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting it. Wise play on the part of Coach Olin. Get that top line well rested and make sure they're all on the same page. Try and take advantage before that first penalty expires.
Coach Coltis' squad reeling a little bit here, just down by a goal, but in a tough situation. 3-on-5 for a minute 7.
Well, on every touch in this next 2 minutes is going to be so crucial.
Yep.
They've got to be able to send it 200 feet. Just clearing the zone, allowing the Lumberjacks to regroup just outside their blue line will lead to very bad things.
Yes, it definitely will lead.
There
to
you
bad
see
things.
three of their most dependable players on the ice. Delaney Johnson with defenders Sarah McClellan and Abby Peterson.
You can watch us live on YouTube. You can watch what we do on YouTube. So if you're watching
watch
this,
what you do.
well, what we do, you and me, and a host of many. But if you haven't checked us out live, go to YouTube. We're also live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. But YouTube was the pioneer. We were live on YouTube first.
Is that right?
I believe that is correct.
So big 5-on-3 advantage for 107 for this Lumberjack squad, already leading 3-2 on the goal by Bender early in this third period. Nelson crossed to Bender, had to control, then fired it wide. Stewart walks in, wrist shot blocked out front by McClellan. Delaney Johnson able to send it all the way down. It's a big clear. Long pass, Bender carries into the zone out front, pass behind De Leon, but there is Nelson on the far side trying to feed it through. That's deflected. De Leon tried to sweep it back to Bender, but that didn't click. Back out to the point, Elena. And now across to Nelson, back up top to Stewart. Elena, back to Stewart. That shot hit traffic again. Rebound chance, deflected up and over the net as Johnson was sprawling, trying to stay in front of that bouncing puck. Patience, Stewart, a shot and a goal.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, and she was screened a little bit too.
With 1 second remaining on the two-player advantage.
Yeah, and that was a pretty power play goal, and a nice goal by Stewart. That'll be just her second goal of the season. But again, coming from outside, getting past Johnson, finds that back of the net. Make it 4-2 now.
And with just that 1 second left means it'll be a 5-on-4 power play still for another 53 seconds.
That was a big goal, Joe. That was it really puts the Bluebirds in a hole, down by 2 with.
And still needing to kill off this penalty.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes.
Stewart plays it down low. Sent around behind by Coquet. Kept in by Zadebski. Coquet again pressured and pinned to the boards by Hedlund, but it's scooped up by Elena, who plays it back up. I'm sorry, that was Pogarellis. And now spinning is Coquet. Pressured. Coughs it up as Kalo. Can't get it out of the zone. That shot doesn't get through. Hedlund deflects it behind and recovers. Holly Johnson squeezed off of it, kept in by Stewart. Shot hit traffic. Jones out of the corner, and her stick lifted by Bolander. A tie-up. Played to the line, but not out. Forced out of the zone by Kylie Scott as the second penalty has expired. Scott pressuring, pinched off the puck, but still fighting for it, trying to center. Broken up by Zadebski. Stewart ahead. Kicked along by Coquet into the zone. Tried to drop pass, and it wasn't right in the right spot. And Biscaylo able to steal it away for the Bluebirds, and now plays it in deep. And behind, Ness tried to wrap around, but the stick stopped up by the CEC defense. Peterson sends it back in under 6 minutes remaining in this third period. Lumberjacks first lead of the game here in the third period. And they've scored twice, including a 5-on-3 power play that has them up 4-2. Peterson, a shot out front, deflects. Ness a turnaround chance, but Kaminsky was there. Taylor Nelson. Turn away from the pressure again. Passes ahead for Bender. Bender shied away from contact with Delaney Johnson. Loose puck collected by the Bluebirds and played in deep by Abby Peterson. Behind the net is Lichty. Bender gets it out to center. De Leon pressuring. Now pinched off it. Pass out front. Passing back, and a big save by Delaney Johnson, and a point blank spin around chance by Bender. Delaney Johnson trying to get around the corner on Halverson. Did a nice job pushing it away with the stick, and now plays it around the boards. Kylie Scott steps up. Scott able to avoid some pressure. Circles. Trying to dump in the corner. Nobody there for the Bluebirds. It's fired around by CEC. Now picked up by Johnson. Her shot deflected to the far boards where Kylie Scott will recover. Scott tripped up, but coincidental contact, foot to foot, and they won't call that sometimes. Elena to the blue line, tried to dump it in, or red line tried to dump it in, and it ended up out of play in the Champlin Park Coon Rapids bench.
There again, and again, just the Lumberjacks just doing a lot of things to make things happen, and a nice save gets the pad on for Elijah
that's
Johnson.
Just a great effort by
really good
Bender.
effort. Yeah,
tied up, pressured well, but still able to get what could have been a dangerous shot on goal.
Well, you got to be impressed with that first line from the Lumberjacks. They are very good.
Two goals for Bender. She's got 2 goals, 2 assists. She's been on all 4 goals. Brooklyn Johnson almost able to cut out front, but Harriman got just enough of the puck to give her teammate a chance to come over to support. Del Castillo trying to play it up the boards. A lot of purple jerseys there. And I haven't mentioned it, although I've wanted to.
I know you've been waiting.
I love the Lumberjacks unis.
What, they remind you of anything?
They do a bit, minus the gold. Although we did wear purple, gold, and white as youth players. But in high school, we were just purple and white. But I love the style of the jersey, too. And the colors are good. I'm a fan.
As long as you're happy. Everyone is happy when you're happy.
That's the way it works. Delaney Johnson, a steal, trying to come out of the corner, and it knocked off her stick before she could get out front.
Now the Bluebirds are desperate to try and get something in here with 2:41 down by 2.
When the Lumberjacks are being cautious, they know that lead is definitely not one they can coast on. Bender into the zone, looks to pass, gets it to De Leon. The shot from the point misses badly for Elena. Zadebski keeps it in to Taylor Nelson. Nelson back to Zadebski. Looking to get it to Bender at the back door. That was broken up. Bezcalo flips it to the line, but not out. And trickling toward the net, chopping at it was a sliding De Leon. Comes instead to Bezcalo, and Bezcalo will get some moves and then get some speed through center. It's tipped off her stick as she enters the zone. Nelson pressured by Brooklyn Johnson, and she gets back to the zone, leaves it for De Leon, rather. A shot and save by Elijah Johnson.
On the Lumberjack.
And now you just have to start looking at the Bluebirds number 34 and wonder when she will head to the bench, as the Bluebirds had a lot of offensive, there's the timeout for the home team, but they had a lot of offensive pressure, zone time, good possessions early in that first period especially, but throughout most of the second period as well. They have not been able to get that same kind of consistent and maintained zone presence here in the third period, so makes it that much more difficult to get your netminder to the bench.
You know, and we touched on momentum, and that third goal from the Lumberjacks really gave them that momentum, and they seemed to step it up a little bit after that third goal and put more pressure on, able to get a second goal here in the third period just to open that lead, and really doing a nice job of closing in on shots as well. 22-15 now in favor of the Bluebirds. But though the Bluebirds just not able to, as you mentioned, just garner that
just
offense.
Just 2 shots on goal in this third period.
Yep.
So I am talking to Coach Colts is talking to his goaltender about when he'll be calling, and I'm sure it's as soon as they have good possession, at least at the neutral zone, if not into the offensive end.
Well, you would think so, and that's something that they'll try and get out quickly. But again, you got to get that third goal just to quickly, I think, here with just a minute 34 remaining. Check us out on Facebook as well. We talked about we're live on YouTube. We're also live on Facebook. But a lot of fun things that you can find at the CTN Coon Rapids Facebook page, like a lot of Joe Young, a little of me, some Neil Hennon. All a lot of fun.
Lumberjacks able to force it into the corner off the faceoff. Good scrum there. Won by Kylie Scott, and she will skate to center. Johnson will start making her way toward the bench. And Ness is pickpocketed entering the zone. And quickly to the other end, and here's a chance for De Leon. Kicked away by Abby Peterson and played all the way back to the other end, and it was touched by Cloquet Esco-Carlton, so no icing. Played around, back out to center. Nelson plays it across. Bender will shoot off the iron, looking to complete her hat trick, and it just won't happen.
That was about as big a chance as any to get that one. And she just kind of hung her head knowing that she should have had her third goal.
Moving into Bezcalo. Bezcalo waiting for some traffic to clear. And then the pass broken up, but now moved along. Here's Johnson, his shot. Tried to go short side and missed the side and hit the side of the net. Stewart plays it back. De Leon tries to play it out. Kept in there by Bolander. Ness had it knocked off her stick. Bezcalo forces it back to the near boards. 15 seconds remaining. Bender can't get it out. Peterson is shot that just missed wide. Stewart will flip it high out to center and back into the Bluebirds' end. The buzzer will sound. And the Lumberjacks with a come-from-behind victory, providing the only offense of the third period. They get a pair of goals and walk away with a 4-2 win.
Yeah, nice win for Cloquet Esco-Carlton, and one that they'll put their record to 12-2 now. And a tough loss for the Bluebirds. I think coming in here, they felt this is a team that was good, but they should be able to get past. And unfortunately, for the Bluebirds, not able to garner a lot of offense in that third period. And the Lumberjacks, to their credit, were. And they able to come away with a couple of goals and the win.
Well, and after getting the goal from Bender early in the period, they get the 5-on-3 opportunity, and they don't let that opportunity pass. They convert with the advantage and seal the deal with good strong defensive play, and again preventing the Bluebirds from getting any positive momentum in the final frame.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing. I mean, that second goal kind of gave the Lumberjacks a little momentum after the second period, and they came out and they grabbed it all.
So more hockey on the docket for the CTN crew. Will be at the boys game Saturday afternoon as they host the Spring Lake Park Panthers. Well, girls basketball next Tuesday also against the Panthers, and then next Friday the annual battle for the Golden Shoes.
Love it.
Wrestling on the mat between the Cardinals and the Anoka Tornadoes. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, it's Cloquet Esco-Carlton 4, Champlin Park Coon Rapids 2. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.